Hello, in this video I'll be showing you how to build a tree house in Minecraft. At first we're going to use an oak log, a ladder, oak wood planks, oak trapdoor, glass, preferably clear, and oak leaves. We may need some more things later on, but for now we are just going to use these materials. So we're going to start with building the trunk of the tree. So I like to build just a couple high. I mean, you don't want it too high because it gets it really hard to go up the ladder. Just make it as high as you want it. I think that's pretty high. I think that's good for a tree. Then, obviously, you're going to add a ladder so you can get up into the tree house. And now we're going to start building the actual house. And I find it easier to build the actual house before you build like the leaves and make it look like a tree. You can just do this. So I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 7 high, and I think that's a good height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my oak wood planks, and I'm going to build right on top of it. I'm going to simply build 1 block. Then I'm going to, from the side, doesn't matter what side, I'm going to build 4 out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So it should be like pretty even, like a T, uppercase T. And if you think that's too big, of course, make it smaller, obviously. But if you think that's good, then leave it like that. Next, we're going to do about 5 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 back this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And connect the 2. Okay. So now we have something like this. And you might be looking at this like it's very big and it's not a very good treehouse, but it will get better, I promise. So, next thing we're going to do is we are going to fill in the floor. I like to use oak planks. That's just me. You can always change this later when you have the whole thing up, but just to build it, we need this now. Okay. So, now we are going to build the walls up about 3 high, because tree houses don't need to be too tall. If you want it taller, build it taller. We do not need a door because the ladder. Okay, so now we have some sort of house here, and I am going to see how the ladder works. So, we have not yet made an entrance, but that's okay, because we want the entrance to be near the front, but we will figure out a way to do that. So next, we are going to find a way. We want to make sure that we can get in through the ladder. So what I like to do is I'm going to break blocks over the ladder. So I have it like this, like a doorway, which you can actually get in by just doing that. So if you're in survival, that's probably what you would do. But if you don't want to make it look like this, we can do this from there. And then you can, have the ladder on the opposite side, like on this side, because it will probably give the house, when you're in it, a lot better place in it. So, there we go. So now we can go right into it, but we will still have this here, and I'll show you why we have that later, but, okay. So we have the ladder all figured out, and if you don't want this here, you can just do that, I guess, I don't know. And then we are going to move into the roof. So the roof is really important. Some people don't like to have roofs in their tree houses. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video, but I'm actually going to have glass in half of the room. I just think that gives it a really cool extra part, so I'll show you how to do that. So you're just going to simply fill in the roof with glass. I'm only going to do this for half of the room because I kind of like that look. So if you don't like this look, don't do it, I guess. But if you do, then this is perfect. So I usually make my tree houses too high. I mean 2 blocks high, not too high. 2 blocks high because I just think it's like you don't need too much more wood, and you can still stand in it. 3 high also some people like. It's whatever you like. Next, you're going to add the trapdoor. The trapdoor is really cool. It adds a really cool like treehouse part to the treehouse. So you can just put it over and then you can open and close it. The only annoying thing about this is when you're climbing up, sometimes if it's closed, you have to like open it, but that also blocks mobs out. As you can see, there are a lot of mobs under me. So if I was in survival, this would be really cool. So next, I want to furnish this, and then we'll add the leaf. So when I want to furnish this, I want to, you can really furnish it whatever you want. I'm just going to add some chairs, and you don't have to do this. You can furnish it whatever way you would like. You can add chests and whatever you want. So I'm just going to simply add some chairs. I guess I would add a chest a little bit. I'm not going to give you a full on of what I'm going to do in the interior until we do the leaves, because I want to make sure that the leaves are shown. So, as you can see, this is a really big tree house, and it doesn't really look very cool from the outside, I'm not going to lie. But that will fix when we add the leaves. So in order to do that, we are going to just add random leaves in like random parts. You don't want it to be too random, like you don't want like that. You want it to be pretty, like it's a tree, like it is part of the tree. So just cover the entire thing with leaves. And make sure it's pretty covered, but you can also have part of the wood showing to give it that treehouse look, not like it's like in the tree. You can leave some parts like open like that, see there, and you can kind of do whatever you want to give it this tree look, because this is just like making it look less like a block of wood floating in the sky, mostly making it look like a treehouse. So we're just covering it, and it doesn't look very good right now, but remember, it doesn't have to be completely covered. It's just the first layer of leaves, and you kind of want some wood, as I already said. Like, you don't want it to be completely covered in leaves. So, and the more leaves you add, like, the less you can see of the wood. So you want it to look somewhat like a tree. Okay, so once you are almost done with the leaves, you can start by continuing to add the tree on the top. So I am still adding the leaves, and you don't want too many pieces sticking out. That you want it like okay. So as you can see, this looks somewhat like a tree. You could say, oh, there's kind of a lot of holes here. I'll fill those in because it doesn't look too great. And yeah, so we have tree, but now we have to add the top. And the top's really what gives it the tree look. So you don't want it to cover up the glass if you have glass, because that will block out the light. It won't block out all the light, so you can have some leaves, but you also want it to give it more of a tree look rather than just like a wood top. So start by just covering the top. If you have glass, you only do this on half. I'll show you what to do for the glass part. But if you have complete wood, then you can just do this. So you just kind of start adding more layers of leaves, and then start to only add layers to certain like parts of the treehouse. So like I'm not going to, you kind of just throw leaves up, but don't make it all symmetrical. You don't want that. You don't want like every single part of the tree to be exactly the same as the other half, because that's not what a tree looks like. And if you want it to look like that, then do that. But see what I did? That doesn't look very good. So I'm going to just get, like, you can always add pieces and take away pieces, but you can add a couple pieces. So that's pretty much that I have. And you can see the wood here. I personally don't like how that looks, so I'm just going to cover it up. You can do the same, or you can leave it. I like the treehouse look, but I also don't want it to look too weird. So there we go. You can kind of still see the inside of the treehouse, which I like. So next, we are going to do the window part. For the window part, what I recommend doing is just not doing as much. You don't want it to do like completely asymmetrical, where like that half is way taller than this half, because that wouldn't look very good in your Minecraft house. But you can, I recommend, rather than putting the leaves, right on top of the house, doing it a good ways above the house, like this. So you're not putting the leaves right on top of the glass, you're doing it like 2 blocks above, because that will actually let more light in. And then you don't have to stack more leaves on top of those leaves, but it will look as if you did that. So then, again, we just continue filling it up, but don't stack any more leaves on top of the leaves you filled in with the grass. I will show you where to put those leaves. Alright, so I've kind of made it look like a tree again. And now I'll show you what to do if you have the glass for the very top part. So you can see there's a big hole here. I'm going to fill this up. So I just put like them in a couple spots. You don't want to make it too much, like kind of like that. And there you go. You have made a tree house. It's a very big tree. It's more, I think, just fun for building. If you're in survival, there are other tree houses that I will show you how to build that are easier to build. But for this, we still have some editing to do to it. So you can add leaves to the bottom if you like how that looks. Personally, I do. You can add like vines to the bottom of the treehouse. And if you don't like how the ladder looks, also if you want to like if you're making like a secret hideout, this is actually perfect. You probably want to make this a little smaller to make it more look like an actual tree in Minecraft, like the ones that spawn automatically. But you could, then it would be like completely hidden if you use the vines, because it would just look like a regular tree. So obviously you don't want to cover up the entrance. I mean, leaves are pretty easy to break, so it wouldn't be too bad, but still. And if you like how the wood looks with the house, then you can leave the wood. If you don't like how it looks, don't leave the wood. I kind of like a little bit of both. Like I personally like how that looks. If you don't like how that looks, then don't do that. Yes. But I think this looks pretty good, and the bottom is pretty covered up. And so yes, the outside is done. So made a pretty big tree, and the best part though is there's an inside. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go back inside the treehouse, and okay, no, almost got in. So I probably should change this to peaceful, but right now we're not going to. So now, as you can see, when you're inside the treehouse, look how cool that looks. I personally think that just looks so cool. And you could actually have like another secret base inside of there. Like if we broke this, like you could have your own secret base on top of your house. I'm going to do that. I think that's a good idea. And what if you had like windows here? Yeah, we're gonna have windows here. Yeah, that's cool. We're gonna do that. And I guess we'll have a trapdoor here. So there we go. Alright, so now we're going to go back in, and I suppose we'll need a ladder there. Okay, so now to decorate the interior, I know I threw these down earlier. I don't think we need any lights in here. It depends how dark it is. If it is dark, add lights. If it's not, then don't. So I'm going to start by putting down some chests. I like to use barrels with a treehouse. I just think it looks cooler. I'll just put some barrels there. And then I'm going to add a little spot for my bed. I like it, don't do it, but if you... So, there we go. We have built the interior. But now, as I want to show you how to build this extra part up here. I am obsessed with putting down the chairs, so I'm gonna add another chair. So, yeah. There it is. It's a really cool view. And you can even see the sunset from behind there. That's cool. So, yeah, that's pretty much the whole tree house. It's a pretty secret tree house. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the YouTuber. And, yeah, see you next time.